entertainment purposes only. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Today I got a real dope video for y'all, so stay tuned to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and leave a comment. But enough with the talking, let's get straight into the content.
So when you get into dreams, your mind is going into the ether, the unlimited, vast information that is all around us. So as you go into the dream state, you're traveling through the ether, and you're traveling through all the energy. That's why a lot of people get information from dreams, or they see something in advance in their dream state. You're traveling into the ether, connecting to all the unlimited information and tapping in. Now, there are all different types of frequencies and realms and all different things around us at all times. And when you're getting into your dream state, that's what you're tapping into. You have so much. You're not just this physical form. You have so much more to you than you even realize. Your brain is more powerful than anything you could possibly even fathom. It's operating so quickly. This is why all these, they're trying to put chips and neural links and all kinds of things into people's brains, because the brain is connected to the ether, connected to the heart. It's all one big crystal of water, which when it gets into the dream state, it's very powerful. That's why a lot of the ancient civilizations used to be very connected to the dream states. They were very into taking certain substances, herbs, and remedies to alter their dream state to see different frequencies and different vibrations.
Okay, so are we going to talk about CERN, the multiverse, dreams, the Mandela Effect? I watched Multiverse of Madness last night, and this scene really got to me.
Dreams windows into the lives of our multiverse selves.
How's his theory?
So that recurring nightmare where I'm running naked from a clown.
Somewhere out there. It's real.
Somewhere out there.
I've always said that dreams are literal portals to an unknown world. We're stepping into the bodies of the different universes of ourselves. Have you ever had a dream where you realized that it was a dream and you instantly woke up? What if that means the consciousness of that universe pushed you out and back to your original body? The thought that there are alternate versions of ourselves based off the different decisions that we make. If you've ever watched Rick and Morty, this theory is explained so good. Do y'all remember Star Labs in The Flash, which gave people powers, multi-dimensional travel? Well, CERN is doing something like that. They might open a portal to another universe. Now, in 2012, CERN used this particle accelerator. You know, 2012 when the Mayan calendar said that the world would end? But some people think at this time CERN caused our realities to merge with another universe. Hence why some things are different than what we remember. Because I swear it used to say Jiffy on the peanut butter. In the movie, there's an ability called dream walking, which you meditate and jump into the body of that version of you in a different universe. When you travel to that universe, it kind of looks like you're traveling through brain cells, which would explain why our brain cells look like the universe. This might be too much to take in for some people, to fathom that there are alternate universes and versions of ourselves. There's an exact scene how people's minds go crazy after they realize this.
It's fine. Everything is fine. There's an infinite number of realities, Morty. And in a few dozen of those, I got lucky and turned everything back to normal. I just had to find one of those realities in which we also happen to both die around this time. Now we can just slip into the place of our dead selves in this reality, and everything will be fine.
Morty was literally freaking out. But tell me what y'all think about all of this. Stay dangerous.
I believe dreams are important. I really do feel like it take you to another realm. It's been a lot of times where I done had deja vu, but didn't realize I dreamed that particular moment.
So in regards to my last post, this is what I was talking about. The merging and collapsing of the worlds. Okay? As you can see, you see the red and blue everywhere. You already know what this represents, y'all. But these are the worlds. You see the spheres? The spheres, these are the different worlds coming together, collapsing. These are the different realities coming together. You see the flash. The flash. Every timeline has a flash that's collapsing right now. You see them coming together? All-seeing eye. All the worlds that they have made up, all the lies, everything, where they were the superheroes, you know, they written themselves into history. All the lies are coming to an end. This is the destruction of their world. The end of the Scorpion Age, which means the ending of death and evil.
Look at what's happening. These worlds. Colliding and collapsing.
And this is what I mean by over here. It looks like two worlds, two spheres that's colliding on top of each other. So much so, you see, it's like in between worlds. It's in between worlds. So this is what's happening. Not to mention the Kali Yuga just ended today. So now we officially are in the golden age and things are going to increase. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this video. This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness in interesting situations during this interesting times, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning to my frequency. You already know what to do, y'all. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
People will call them alien, but they're not.
I don't look at this and think ET. I look at these as displacement craft that are coming from parallel realities.
Interdimensional.
That can literally move interdimensionally.
And he said interdimensional.
It quasi-projected from higher dimensional space.
This could be something that is extra or hyperdimensional.
We're telling the entire world that there is something other than human life forms.
If you watch this movie Lucy, it will tell you that we live on a prison planet. People are still waiting for God to come back and save them. What if I told you the God that you are praying to is really Lucifer or Lucy? The reason why they show Lucy actually touching fingers with the monkey Lucy. They had the same artwork of God actually touching fingers with the humans on this planet. It's another reason why Lucy is actually sitting in this chair surrounded by water. It's because these people that control this matrix actually have UFO technology. That UFO actually crashed and the UFO was using water to see into the future or to time travel. Water is a portal. The greatest energy in the universe is actually water. Not just any water, but of course, clean water. This is the same reason why all the water on our planet is dirty, because if we had clean mineral water, we would be able to time travel or travel through the oceans or the universe. This movie Lucy is still trying to tell us that we did not come from a higher dimension. They're trying to say that we came from monkeys once again. The same story of Darwinism, when they really believe that we actually came from monkeys. But what if I told you aliens actually created some of us on this planet? The Anunnaki that everyone is waiting for, I want to let you know that they are the ones that enslave everyone on this planet. Yes, the Anunnaki is black people, but not all black people are the same. Once we realize that, we will understand the higher picture. This is the drug that Lucy used in her movie to activate everything in her body. But they use a certain thing, the color blue. Anytime you see the color blue in the movie, they're speaking about your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is blue and is about to tell you the truth. People see Lucy or Lucifer everywhere. The Statue of Liberty is really Lucifer holding the flame or our soul in her hand. Lady Columbia is holding the torch, the flame in her hand. This is Lucifer. 2024 started off with so many people seeing different aliens. I wonder why. These aliens was never hiding from us. They was always in the ocean. Now they are coming out of the ocean and they're about to change everything once again.
Don't quote me, but the Bible do say something like the devil will do anything to make you believe in him. What if the devil... Never mind.
So here's an interesting one. New Hampshire goes to ban weather modification. See all this? This is weather modification. Dimming the sun. New Hampshire wants to get rid of weather modification and excessive microwave radiation. Remember the pandemic? Snow in Miami, 1977, caused by weather modification. National weather modification policies with 3 letter agencies involved. Documentary on weather modification called Frankenskies, one of the best ones you can watch with all the patents. Weather modification activities to be reported by the Commerce of NOAA. Owning the weather in 2025, U.S. Air Force. GE scientists cause snow to form in a cloud, General Electric. A weapon against the weather. See the theme here? Weather used as a weapon of war, 1977. He who controls the weather will control the world.
Hey, I can believe that about the Air Force. I was in it. I can remember times we'll watch the radar and see a storm coming and it'll break up right before it hit base. Crazy.
Morbid Facts, Part 182. Sue Aiken survived a brutal grizzly bear attack that left both of her hips pulled out of their sockets and bite marks in her skull. She crawled back to her cabin, put a belt around her waist to keep her hips in place, then went back out to shoot the bear. Help finally arrived 10 days later and she made a full recovery. The antimony pill, or the everlasting pill, was used in the early 19th century for stomach relief. It was reusable after being pooped out, making it very enduring and cost-effective. Entire families would often use the same pills, which sometimes even went through multiple generations. A 4-year-old murder case was solved in 2008 when detectives noticed and arrested gang members' tattoos that depicted the entire crime scene. The tattoos show a chopper spraying bullets at a victim, and the arrested man's name was Choppa. Authorities said this was a confession of guilt, and the man was sentenced to 65 years in prison for first-degree murder.
Now, this is part 2 of the Prince interview where he's talking about being a slave. Check this out.
Yeah, I had to get free
about
from
what he's saying.
The mentality of being a slave. You understand?
Right.
Okay, and that's not to equate myself with the same situations that we suffered coming to this country, but you know, everything is relative. If you are owned, you are owned. If you can't do everything that you want to do, if there's a ceiling and you're not allowed to go as high as you can go, you are in fact a slave.
Now, I know in this interview, Prince was talking about him being under contract. He felt like a slave. That's why he changed his name. This is also related to us as people on this earth. If we can't say what we want to say, do what we want to do, you are a slave. Think about it. Peace, get woke, and keep rising.
And protect yourself against 5Gs. Just get a corded headset. Use your phone on speakerphone as much as possible. I mean, France just banned the latest version of the iPhone. I think iPhone is making some adjustments to that.
Some countries just banned some iPhone models I saw too.
Yeah, France was the first one to ban the latest version of the iPhone because of the amount of EMF frequency coming out of it. It's mind-numbing. So if you match the frequency of a cell, you can either amplify its activity or you can cancel its activity. When you start to cancel the activity of a cell, like what's called the ion channel, which is, if you think of a cell as a kind of like a tennis ball, and it actually has a membrane that's protecting it, and it's 2 layers. It's called a phospholipid bilayer, by being 2. There's an outside layer and an inside layer. So things leave the cell and enter the cell through these channels, right? Ports. They're called ion channels. And so for something to enter a cell or leave a cell to eliminate waste, repair, detoxify, regenerate, these ion channels have to be functioning perfectly. 5G frequency matches the frequency of some of these ion channels. That's the best way that I can explain it. So now you're interrupting cellular respiration. You're interrupting cellular activity, meaning you're impeding that cell's capacity to eliminate waste, repair, detoxify, regenerate, to divide. And when you do that, especially in the proximity of where you hold the phone, and then you see things like trigeminal neuralgias in one of the cranial nerves. You see an increased risk for all forms of brain cancer. There's been a parabolic rise in brain cancer. Some people directly related to cell phone.
Dang, I didn't know that.
You don't want to fearmonger, but the truth is, if you can use a speakerphone or a corded headset, you can significantly mitigate your risk.
And I just bought this anti-EMF chip too. Have you seen these?
Yeah, we have.
That's actually a really good one. That's a company that is that LifeWave?
Yeah, it was like $60, I think.
Yeah, that's actually one where I read. I'm not saying the other ones don't work, but I read all of the clinical data on that and the clinical studies, and it's really interesting that scatter technology.
Yeah,
it really works, and it diffuses the EMF not only when you're on a call, but all the time.
Yeah, so I can sleep next to it now too.
Yeah, you can sleep next to it now.
Yeah.
Ever since them towers been going up, things been feeling weird out here. It's like the whole vibe changed. I can remember having to pass going to work during the season, and it was trucks on mostly every street. I wonder what they was doing.
So I know y'all heard about the winter storms and everything that's coming, that's about to hit Texas and everything, right? I've been told y'all that they put the truth in the movie, and y'all gotta take this shit way more serious, bro. Pay attention.
Well, it's that time of year again when we start to see articles and posts on social media about the polar vortex. Let's do two things. One, we'll talk about exactly what it is, and two, we'll talk about the impacts that we can see from it here in southeast Texas. Now, very simply put, the polar vortex is just a bitter air mass that goes around the Arctic Circle. Typically in the winter, we see cool to mild temperatures in the 30s, 40s, and 50s at worst. Up in the Arctic Circle with the polar vortex, those temperatures are 30, 40, and 50 degrees below zero. Now, typically we keep that air bottled up across the Arctic thanks to a very strong jet stream. But what happens when that jet stream weakens? It starts to buckle and it becomes wavy. And as that happens, we can get loads breaking off from the polar vortex of that bitter cold air. And sometimes it can dive as far south as the Gulf states.
It was supposed to be confidential. Several hours ago, 3 helicopters went down out of Scotland. They crashed because the fuel in their mines froze. At what temperature does... Negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit. We had to look it up. The temperature dropped phenomenally fast. On the ground, people froze before they could get out of their cars.
First, the deers were going crazy, and now they're getting frozen. Temperatures hit negative 58 in Russia, and there are freezing animals everywhere, y'all.
This thing looks just like a hurricane.
Only hurricanes don't form over land. Air mass that goes around the Arctic Circle.
Let's go!
Y'all understand why I be putting up the movies and stuff now, right? Like, do it make sense now? You feel me? Wake up!
What could be so large in the North Pole where they say it's all water that literally interferes with the jet stream? Before we start, this is all speculation. There's no facts, just words. Let me show you something, and after that we'll talk.
North Pole update check, which happened. And they found that there was this dot here in the North Pole, which was causing this effect happening here. And it was literally affecting the jet stream. This huge solid object was preventing the winds itself from traveling over thousands of miles here over, I think this is Greenland? Yeah. This dot here right in the center of the Earth, from a northern pole perspective, had changed the jet stream. So the warm air was no longer coming here to the south over America, causing an extreme dip in temperatures while this anomaly was happening. Bizarre. Something was messing with the jet stream in the North Pole.
Again, when you go on Google Earth, it literally just shows an empty ocean, but older maps don't show that. But before we get to that, why don't we ask why in the 60s there's a picture actually taken of this area and it's all blacked out. So this is the 1595 Mercator map. Obviously, they knew something. They have Asia up here, they have Russia down here, United States over here, and Greenland. And look how close Greenland is. But what are these 3 or 4 bodies of land right here? And in between, there's a giant mountain that they say is magnetic. Like, you know, magnetic north. And funny enough, that seems to be where all this color always comes from, you know, the North Pole. If you want to know my opinion, I believe this is where the Garden of Eden is. The reason being is because God said it's still on this earth. He never removed Eden from the earth. He removed Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. And furthermore, he's guarding the Garden of Eden with a flaming sword and angels. But let me show you something weird. Wow, so in the middle of recording this, I got a huge revelation. 2 nights ago, I was messing around on Google Earth. If you click the North Pole, it'll take you to a random place. Look where it took us. To a church. With Jesus. I want you to notice this place, by the way. It's not a place that would have an actual camera set up to record, so it makes no actual sense, right? But everything that is in this world, there is no coincidences. There's reasons for everything. So you click the North Pole, it'll take you to random pictures, like a different one I'm about to show you. Now watch, we're going to do it again. We're going to click the North Pole, and it's going to go to a random place. This time it goes to a forest. So I think it's very odd it went to Jesus the first time, having to do with the Garden of Eden. Obviously, our modern day is crap. I believe this one.
It can go either 2 ways. Either they knew something or they just learned along the way and updated their findings.
Some people wake up in this realm daily and forget. So don't let that person be you. And by forget, I mean forgetting the fact that this realm has been infiltrated and this is a system. And the way things are right now, it was built this way, it was designed this way because entities overtook this realm. And just by that simple fact, the collective overall is brainwashed. They're in a trap. So if you spawn here and you get lost in the sauce, you most likely got to come back here because this is a spiritual realm. It's just not all physical. This was designed this way. The way people are comfortable and they think this shit normal, like all of it, down to the all of it. They think this is normal and comfortable. Nah, so don't let that be you. Don't wake up in this realm forgetting the fact of who you are and how things work universally. Don't let it be you.
Stop. You're not going to want to miss this. Everybody know about this winter storm that's going across the United States, right? So allegedly, word on the street is this heavy metals inside of this snow. Somebody decided to collect a jar of snow and melt it. And after they melted it, they put a big magnet around the outside of the glass. And this is how this snow water is reacting. First of all, what the fuck is this inside of the snow? It obviously had to be some kind of metal component. There go the magnet right there. It has to be some kind of metal component. And I guess the mystery is how the hell did metals get inside of the snow? Fucking creepy. By the way, this video was recorded somewhere in Colorado. But yeah, these metal particles are inside of the snow. Isn't this like fantastic? Yeah. Y'all let me know in the comments though how y'all feel about them finding metal-like substances inside of the snow in the comments. Like and follow.
Maybe that's the reason why the animals run away from the rain. But with all this pollution we send up, I was expecting that cup to be way darker. But are we on our way to darker cups?
Is there a new kind of energy source for islands? Everyone has heard of solar, winds, and hydropower, but there's a lesser known one known as OTEC, which uses the ocean's temperature differences to generate electricity. OTEC, or Ocean Thermal Energy Conversion, takes warm water from the surface of the ocean and puts it through a heat exchanger. This is where a refrigerant, something like liquid ammonia, which has a low boiling point, which means it boils at temperatures as low as like -28 degrees. So that boils, and the steam is used to churn the blade blades in the turbine, that mechanical motion is converted into electricity. Cold, deep water is sucked up to condense that ammonia back, continuing the process over and over and over. Islands have a tricky problem when it comes to energy because of their limited landmass to put solar panels or wind turbines on. However, there are a few issues. For one, this only works if there's at least a 68-degree temperature difference between the warm and cold water, which is really only found around the equator. The other issue is that too many of these facilities could mess up the thermal interaction in the ocean, not only hurting sea life, but rendering this whole process useless anyway. I picture it being more of a backup plan for when solar or wind is having a bad day, rather than being the primary source for energy. On a side note, I was recently informed that someone on Facebook is pretending to be me, and I definitely don't live in New York. Although I do have to say, it's pretty funny that this isn't even me, and look at how successful it is. I will apparently have to make my own Facebook page, but in the meantime, if you see this, please...
Aliens have been trying to leave us technology for free energy devices for a very long time. Now, if you guys question the authenticity of crop circles, I highly suggest doing some research. And if you're too lazy to do the research, I've done it for you, and so is this man. This is Professor William Levengood, and he's been studying crop circles for a very, very long time. Now, what we noticed on the real crop circles is the seeds of the stalks would all explode out of the node, and the crops would coil up like this. And the magnetic energy at these sites is off the chart. Now, with that being said, some are fake, not all possess these qualities, but when you look into these real ones, it's easy to see that they're trying to give us free energy devices. This crop circle is placed in front of a windmill and it displays magnetic wheel energy, something far more sustainable than windmills, and it's also free energy. Here's another magnetic motor that was created off of a crop circle blueprint. And an Italian inventor named Umberto Berdau created this free energy device off this alien-created crop circle blueprint. There is absolutely no doubt that the UFOs are creating these crop circles to help us unlock the secrets of the universe. This one represents our 7 chakras, our 7 energy centers within the body. Unlocking these energy centers will help any individual tap into the secrets of the universe. You'll see many crop circles represent magnetic fields, and all these crop circles are created using extreme mathematical precision and divine sacred geometry. There is no doubt that the UFOs are trying to help humanity reach our full potential. Peace and love.
Did free wireless energy exist in our distant past? Let's talk about it. Now, today we've been taught that we are at the height of technological advancement. You know, we got Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, electricity. But what if this is actually old world technology? Let's take a look at some of the evidence. Now, there used to be an accepted belief in science a little over 100 years ago, and that science was called ether. Ether was basically free-flowing energy above the ionosphere, and people in our distant past figured out how to extract that ether energy. In fact, even the Greek philosopher Plato talked about ether. He referred to ether as the 5th element, free-flowing energy high above the ionosphere. So what is ether? The word ether in Homeric Greek means pure, fresh air or clear sky. In Greek mythology, it was thought to be the pure essence of the gods' breath, filling in the space where they lived, analogous to the air breathed by mortals. And proof of the ether is something called sprites. They are electrical discharges high above the clouds that in fact influence the storms below. This is what Plato and many scientists back in the day referred to as the ether. But today, ether science has been demonized and called pseudoscience, even though Tesla proved that it can be possible. He proved that it's very possible to extract this free-flowing energy. But was Tesla the first one to figure it out, or did our ancient ancestors already figure it out? In fact, scientists recently discovered that pyramids are able to collect and concentrate electromagnetic energy. The Great Pyramids of Giza can collect and concentrate electromagnetic energy in its chambers, and at its base, scientists have discovered its ability to concentrate electric and magnetic energy was discovered by a team of researchers led by scientists from ITMO University in the Russian city of St. Petersburg. So yeah, they actually discovered that the pyramids are able to collect and concentrate electromagnetic energy. So is it possible the pyramids were the generators of the ancient world? Who knows? What if a lot of these ancient structures with these interesting like electrical shapes are actually free energy devices such as this gorgeous temple in India? You know, if we start using our God-given senses and we use our eyes and ears and we take a look at the ancient world, it tells a whole nother story than the one we've been taught. And maybe that the whole teaching and story of them being primitive and not as advanced as us is all fabricated. And why fabricate it? Why lie? Well, money and power. You can't make money from free energy because it's free for everyone. But yeah, imagine if our world is actually a lot more different than what the history books teach. And what if these structures that were built during the Victorian era, in like the 1800s and before, were built by a different civilization, but some kind of reset happened and the history books have been rewrote? Definitely is very fascinating. A lot of these old world structures from the ancient days have a very electrical like shape to them. They look like machines. Like this Langadi temple in India. And it looks like a Tesla coil. Maybe all these buildings were used to extract ether energy. And in our not so distant past, maybe all these domes and antennas, all these buildings in the 1800s and before, maybe it wasn't just aesthetic decoration, but it had a practical use. Who knows for sure? This is something known as the Schumann resonator. Here's another pic. And this is the floor of Catherine's Cathedral.
Wait for a moment, Miss Miser. Do you know who pioneered electricity? Of course. Thomas Edison. I thought so too, until I stumbled upon a book about Nikola Tesla. You see, Tesla was working towards a way to get everyone on the planet safe, free, limitless electricity. And he would have, except Edison did everything in his power to discredit him and crush his reputation. Edison's company developed a patent for an inefficient that you had to pay for. Tesla wanted to better the world, and Edison forced us all to have a monthly power bill because he was envious of a profound idea. Now, I don't have a horse in this race, but I would put my money on Jim because he's Tesla and Edison was.
Hell no, y'all. They're taking them out one by one. Look at this. This is not... Ain't no way.
Come on, Carson, come on.
Look at this, y'all.
I am telling you right now.
Just look at the neck. Look. Look at the different complexion, y'all.
What's going on here?
Look at the teeth. No way, y'all. What is that, y'all? You see they're taking them out one by one. What is going on? They know something's going on, y'all, because they're disappearing one by one. Look at this. Look at that, huh? The eyes are furthermore apart, and the face is slimmer. He looks like a crayon. Nah, man. That is not Randy Jackson. No way, y'all. Come on. Something's going down, y'all, because they're removing people one by one. Because remember when they removed Simon Cowell? Remember this?
Something sure looks different about Simon Cowell in a new video promoting Britain's Got Talent.
I always say on this show, 2 or 3 minutes can change your life. And it has.
And it has. Literally telling you. You know what I'm saying? And I believe this time it's going to be you, he said. So either they're hiding or, you know, they know something's going on. They are getting ready because they know time is up. You see them leaving one by one, right? And it's multiple of them. There's multiple of them. At one point in time, you're just going to see the news flooded with these celebrities are just disappearing all one by one. But they're just showing you one by one right now. But sooner or later, it's going to be en masse, you guys. So let me know what you guys think. I don't believe that's Randy Jackson. That's not Randy Jackson, y'all. So yeah, like, share, and comment for more videos like this, y'all. The shit is here and we getting it. Peace in.
I don't know about y'all, but that's pretty creepy. He out here looking like a whole puppet.
A swarm of earthquakes have hit Oklahoma in the past 2 days, mostly around the Oklahoma City area. Yet another in a series of natural disasters that just keep happening and happening and happening all over the globe. There was a 4.3 magnitude earthquake near Oklahoma City yesterday. Trust me, you feel that. Then earlier today, a 4.1 magnitude earthquake hit right about in the same area. And then this morning, a 3.2 magnitude earthquake, once again in Oklahoma, in just about the same area. Now, I'm from Milwaukee, but I live in Reno, Nevada, and last month we had a series of earthquakes over a 48-hour period. Very similar to what's going on in Oklahoma right now. Now in Reno, we get earthquakes occasionally. Not in big swarms like that, but we get them occasionally. Now, I don't know if the same happens in Oklahoma City, if this is a new thing, or if this is something that happens all the time. But just since December, you can look it up yourself. Fires, floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, even a volcano going off in Iceland. Things like this are happening all over the globe. Tell me what you think might be going on, Booskies. Let me know in the comment section. Shabadoo!
Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Until next time.